This podcast features immature people talking about very mature content and is intended only for adult audiences. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Pen is Mightier, the world's greatest and possibly only audio fanfiction and erotica competition. I'm your host, Paul J.P., and on today's episode, we have a frightening faction of winsome warriors, and I am so happy to have them here today for the Battle of the Fall. Our first guest was named on CBC's list of Canadian comedians to watch in 2019, appearing at the JFL 42 Comedy Festival in Toronto, and is one of the hosts of the podcast Nostalgique on the Sonar Podcast Network. It's Ben Sosa Wright.
Oh my goodness. Hello, and I'm ready to win. I'm here to destroy the competition. So get ready.
Exactly the right frame of mind to be in.
I'm also not here to make friends.
Oh.
There. I'll try.
Please, yeah, because, I brought two other really nice people, and I'd like us to all be friends.
Okay, you're right.
Okay. Our second guest is an audience favorite comedian, the producer of both the annual World's Biggest Improv Tournament and the always sold out $18 Beer comedy show in Toronto. It's Matt McCready.
Hey, everybody in the Sonar Network.
This is not a Sonar Network show.
Oh, well, get on it.
Yeah, get on it, Paul.
I was also named to CBC's 2007 Comedians to Watch list, but they redacted it 3 years later because they saw what a grave error it was, as I am in the same spot now that I was in 2007. But I'm so happy to be here. I'm glad that you gave me the made-up title of audience favorite, Matt McCready, to follow Ben's actual impressive credits.
I was jealous. I was actually jealous to have not gotten audience favorite. I was like, oh, like they know him, like he's popular here, like I'm the new girl, like that. Those are the things I was thinking about.
Critic darling, Ben Sosa Wright.
Oh, what's mine gonna be?
Oh, I bet it's the best one yet.
Oh boy, a lot of pressure. Our third guest is an actor and comedian who is a cast member of the perennially popular D&D Live at Bad Dog Comedy Theatre in Toronto, and a member of a nerd-themed theatre group Cardboard Sword Collective. It's Stephanie Malek.
Hi, I'm just excited to be here, and I am here only to make friends. I'm very lonely, and I hope that you will all come over for social distance hangs later.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd actually love that, truthfully.
Come on over. I have an outside area we can all hang out and read dirty stories.
Oh.
I'm kind of busy.
It's a shame that I just assumed we would have to record this remotely when there was an outdoor podcasting hutch in the middle of the night we could have used.
Yes, Steph made it very clear she lives in a podcasting hutch.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was been my COVID project. Just like it's a hut for people to record me on podcasts. So I'm ready for it. Bookings to @gmail.com.
Would you like me to edit out your email from this?
I don't care. I get no emails. It's all Gap coupons.
Ooh.
Gap coupons.
Forward me those, please.
Yeah, any good quarantine purchases or?
Oh, mostly just cozy sweatpant material clothing.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I think the last time I bought something from the Gap was like khakis back when they had ads where it was all white in the background.
And on screen.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I was Ben's age.
And I'm 19, so
Oh.
You're a baby.
I'm a baby. I got a Gap gift card from, she's actually not my aunt, but she's like a family friend. I just call her my Aunt Helen. And it was $75.
Oh my god.
I know.
Dang.
And I've never had like that much wealth before, and I got a really nice denim jacket that I love.
I really love the idea of referring to a Gap coupon as wealth.
That's wealth.
It really puts into perspective the situation that we're all in now.
It truly
You know you've made it.
wealth in more ways than one. I was like, now I have an errand, like I have something to do. I have a mission to use this gift card. Before I was just floating, but this gift card grounded me and gave me purpose.
And the jacket looks good.
Oh, so good, so slimming. Very like, I don't know, very fall, but you could dress it up, you could dress it down. I love it.
Perfect.
Well, hell yeah. Thanks, not Aunt Helen.
Not Aunt Helen.
Aunt Helen, you can send another one to at gmail.com.
She probably
Aunt
would.
Helen, you can suck it!
Oh, no.
Sorry, Aunt Helen.
Matt reminding us that
Yes.
we are in a competition today.
You're right.
And today these three performers are going to be going head to head to head, presenting readings of erotica in hopes of winning the approval of the others and Ben, the friendship of the others. Okay?
Yes.
Along the way, we are going to play a couple of short little games for some bonus credit, and at the end of the episode, we will all collectively decide amongst ourselves who has done enough to be named the champion of the episode. And the theme of this week's episode is, appropriately enough, spooky scary.
Ooh,
So how is everybody enjoying the Halloween season?
I like it.
It's the best time of the year.
I 100% agree with you.
I don't care!
Oh,
Hey,
you're not
like
doing anything to prepare?
I have this old costume that I'll wear, but that's probably it.
What's the costume?
I was going to use it for the improv tournament in the finals before the world ended, but it's a costume of Skeletor.
Oh.
Yeah, full body. It looks weird.
Oh my god.
I look so out of shape. I look like Skeletor if he weighed 340 pounds. It's great.
I mean, I imagine he might, all that muscle.
Oh, it doesn't look like muscle.
It doesn't look, no.
No.
Is it just like a blue morph suit, or what do we?
No, it's like it's got all these pads that are supposed to look like muscle, but the way it sits, they just kind of stack on top of each other. So it just looks like Skeletor's really let it go. I was really looking forward to wearing it on stage because it looks so bad.
Can we hear the voice?
Mhm.
Fear me not, you lousy people of Eternia, for Skeletor is here for whimsy.
Oh, that's pretty goddamn good.
That's good.
That's amazing.
That's a pretty good Skeletor.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Skeletor makes no appearance in my story, so...
Damn it.
Oh, well, I mean,
You tease.
Yeah, sorry, everybody.
I do not accept your apology.
Well, sorry.
and do you accept that apology?
You know what? I didn't at first, but then when I heard you say it a second time, I changed my mind, so I do accept.
Good. Well, this has been a roller coaster already. Amiability, hostility. I think it's gonna set us off on a weird note.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Boo.
All right. Well, let's see where that weird note gets us.
Boom.
Because it's time for our first story. Our first story today is going to be presented by Mr. Matt McCready.
Hell yeah.
Boo.
All right, everybody. Matt, do you have any experience with erotica or fan fiction, anything like that?
Well, my wife used to write erotica and still gets some residuals from the erotica that she wrote. No. Not really. No. This was kind of fun to do because I like to exploring, like, I'm a comedian, but I like exploring like the beats of where to like put in certain jokes and where to kind of build certain erotic elements. It was fun to do.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to hear your tale. Do you have anything you want to say to introduce it?
So mine involves Austin Powers. And I wrote it before a good friend of mine and a friend, I'm sure, of other people on this podcast, Lisa Gilroy, exploded on Twitter with Austin Powers related bit. Yeah, it's got 200,000 likes.
Oh, wow.
And Ken Marino's commented on it, who is like so funny.
Oh, cool.
So that's cool. But so maybe now that Austin Powers is really hot, this will be the burst that your podcast needs, Paul, to get on that Sonar network,
Fingers crossed, any day now.
Oh my God.
Right up there with podcasts such as your wife's.
Oh, she's doing great, man. Check out the bedpostpodcast.com. That's not the actual
It is a great show.
My podcast is on Sonar too.
All right, fuck it. Everybody's on Sonar but Paul. I get it.
I don't have a podcast, but if anyone wants to give me one, you can email me at gmail.com.
Hand Steph the keys to your podcast.
She'll
take it. She'll run with
fine.
it.
So one thing, to go back to the thing that I'm supposed to be introducing, one thing that I noticed doing an impression of Austin Powers and other characters is that if they're not doing catchphrases, a lot of his characters kind of sound alike. So I am going to do, instead of Austin Powers' voice, I'm going to do Sean Connery voicing Austin Powers.
Okay.
That's the compromise we've all made with me being on this podcast, guys. So I hope we're ready.
I'm ready.
Absolutely, yeah. Take it away whenever you are good to go.
All right. The year was 1999. While the world was worrying for the impending disaster of Y2K, British intelligence was preoccupied with an even more immediate threat. Deep in the secret catacombs of Big Ben is the British Army's investigation torture room. The walls are covered in grime and stench. A once proud man is chained against the wall with electrical shockers attached to his gargantuan nipples. Hour 26 of an interrogation, and Austin Powers still has no answers. Where is the hidden bomb? He asks himself. You'll never guess where I hid the bomb, will ye, Austin Powers? Fat bastard, you know that you've hidden the bomb in Austingham Palace, and you know that tonight it's the Queen's 100th Halloween party, which she cannot cancel. What do I have to do to get you to tell me? I'll tell you, if you let me go. I can't do that. You're London's #1 criminal. Listen, I know my reputation, and I know I've let people down before. I've tried my whole life, and I failed 100 times out of 100. Let me redeem myself. Okay, you lousy Scot, the worst people in the entire world. I'll let you try, said Austin Powers. Austin released the shackles. Seeing the marks they left on Fat Bastard's wrists made Austin feel sorry for Fat Bastard for the first time. Released, Fat Bastard fell into Austin Powers' arms. Fat Bastard weighs so much that his weight falling on you would kill most men. But Austin Powers is strong. The bomb! Fat Bastard wheezed. It's under the Queen's throne, right in the middle of the party. While I feel bad for you, I'm sorry I have to put you back in the shackles. But I've changed. I want to do good in the world. Sorry, there's a party with my name on it, and Mrs. Kensington is looking shagadelic in her bikini costume. Judo chop! And with that, Austin delivered a devastating judo chop to Fat Bastard, knocking him to the ground. "You'll have to remember," Austin boasted. "In the United Kingdom, Austin Powers is number 1. Well, then you'll have to remember, Fat Bastard is always ready for number 2.
Uh-oh.
Fat Bastard then swept the legs of Austin Powers, knocking him to the ground.
Oh, no.
Naked and sweating, Fat Bastard squatted and shat 2 liters of liquid diarrhea into Austin Powers' mouth.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Why?
Liquid diarrhea.
Well, as opposed to.
After all that was done, Austin Powers died. Fat Bastard, wanting to be good.
Oh my.
Fat Bastard, wanting to be good, knew that he had to stop the bomb from killing everyone. He also knew that killing Austin Powers was an automatic death sentence. He knew the only way to get out of this was to fake his own death and assume the identity of Austin Powers. Using his nimble teeth, Fat Bastard chewed off all of Austin Powers' skin and spat it into the corner. Fully whole, except for the holes where the eyes and mouth go. And also the holes for the asshole and penis hole. Fat Bastard then stretched Austin Powers' skin over his whole body. After he was done, Fat Bastard then ripped the fingernails off, because it was more comfortable without them. "Looks like I have a party to crash," Fat Bastard said to himself as he was kicking the skinless body of Austin Powers down the toilet. Fat Bastard, on the streets, couldn't believe all the attention he was getting as he was walking. "It's Austin Powers!" the girls would all scream. Usually, Fat Bastard would run away from all those girls. But that wasn't an option for Fat Bastard because he was comedically overweight. The girls were touching him all over his body. "Is this what it's like to be sexy?" thought Fat Bastard. Unfortunately, Fat Bastard's penis fell out of the asshole in the Austin Powers skin suit, making it seem like he had 2 penises. "I have Austin Powers' penis in my hand," screamed one of the girls. "No, I have Austin Powers' penis in my hand," screamed another girl. Wait, screamed a police officer. "What is going on?" Thinking fast, Fat Bastard had an answer. "Austin Powers has 2 penises!" yelled Fat Bastard. Everyone was satisfied with that answer. Fat Bastard then came 9 times all over the girls, who were between the ages of 18 and 20.
Good.
Fat Bastard wasn't used to being in a room, excited by his entrance. But walking into Buckingham Palace, even amongst the best British celebrities in the world, everyone was excited to see Austin Powers. "Hello! It's nice to see you, Austin," said David Beckham. "Wow! It's Austin Powers! Can I get an autograph?" yelled Hugh Grant. All the big celebrities were there. Victoria Beckham, David Beckham, and others were there too. Suddenly, he heard a voice that he had only heard on the radio. Well, look what the cat dragged in." Spinning around, Fat Bastard was face to face with the daughter of King George himself, the Queen of England. "I don't know if I should bow or shake hands," said Fat Bastard, his Scottish upbringing leaving him unprepared for such a meeting. "Just sing me a verse from my favorite song." Having listened to the radio and it being 1999, Fat Bastard knew that the Queen of England's current favorite song was "Freak on a Leash" by Korn.
Oh, okay. That's what that was.
I think it was pretty clear what that was. Unfortunately, the Austin Powers suit was starting to show some wear and tear, especially around the mouth, as Fat Bastard ate a lot of the girls' pussies on the street earlier.
Oh my.
Whoa.
As Fat Bastard sang corn, bits of Austin Powers' teeth flew into the Queen of England's wine glass. Luckily, only Fat Bastard noticed, as the rest of the party was so impressed by Fat Bastard's rap scanning. Fat Bastard tried to stop her, but the Queen drank from the glass. Austin Powers, however, was so sexy that just having bits of his smashed teeth in a woman's mouth can cause her to have a female mouth orgasm. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Screamed the Queen as her tits bounced all over the place. Hugh Grant went to grab the Queen to keep her from falling over, but her mouth orgasm exposed her excessively receding gum line, which really turned on Hugh Grant because that's what he's secretly into. Hugh Grant's penis was suddenly so engorged that it burst through the button fly of his jeans, shooting his load 20 feet across the room at 120 miles per hour, right into David Beckham's leg, tearing his ACL.
Oh no! What the sports?
Oh, right, the bomb, thought Fat Bastard. Excuse me, Queen. Could I look at your throne for a minute? Are you kidding? Asked the Queen. I haven't been allowed to go near the throne since Tony Blair became Prime Minister. Ugh, sighed Fat Bastard. The only way to get in would be to get the key that's around Tony Blair's neck. Where's Tony Blair then? Asked Fat Bastard. In the candy room, eating crumpets and licking lollipops. I'm on it, said Fat Bastard. Jumping into the candy room, Fat Bastard confronted Tony Blair, who was dressed as a hat for Halloween. Well. Look what the cat dragged in. I know why you're here. You want this key. How did you know? Everyone wants this key. It opens the throne, and whoever sits on the throne is the King of England. Forever! It must be hard, having something that everyone wants. But deep down, you know it has nothing to do with you. It's just the fake skin we all wear. You really see me, Austin Powers. And you really see me, said Fat Bastard, his nose poking through one of the eye sockets in the half-ripping skin suit. With both men now having made a non-verbal agreement for sex, Fat Bastard spun Tony Blair around and pulled his pants and underwear down. Fat Bastard laughed at how stupid Tony Blair's ass looked. Fat Bastard spat on his fingers and shoved them up Tony Blair's ass, all 10 of them. Now that he was warmed up and his ass was all loose, it was time to fuck. Fat Bastard took his hard dick, which was now tearing through Austin Powers' belly button, shoved it as hard as he could up Tony Blair's ass, hitting his G-spot so hard that Tony Blair's tongue turned purple like a Chow Chow dog. A lot of British celebrities were watching, including the original host of Whose Line Is It Anyways? They would throw candy when something good would happen. At one point, Fat Bastard was fucking so well that his entire balls went into Tony Blair's ass. Eventually, Fat Bastard noticed that Tony Blair looked bored. What's wrong? Asked Fat Bastard. My ass feels great, but what about my vagina? Complained Tony Blair. You don't have a vagina. You have a dick. Look again. Fat Bastard looked again and saw that there was a perfectly good vagina right smack dab in the middle of Tony Blair's dick. If only you had 2 dicks, Tony Blair sighed wistfully. But I do, said Fat Bastard in his actual Fat Bastard voice by accident. Oh my god, it's you! It's Fat Bastard! Knowing the gig was up, Fat Bastard knew what he had to do. He shoved Austin Powers' dick right into Tony Blair's vagina. Even though it was basically just a skin balloon at this point, the fact that it was Austin Powers' cock still made it hard as hell. A real hog of a dick that still looks great. The double cock ass vagina combo felt so good, it caused Tony Blair to have an orgasm so big that his heart stopped. Luckily, after he died, it was revealed that Tony Blair was just made of snakes.
Oh.
Everyone realized that he was Fat Bastard now. Wasting no time, Fat Bastard grabbed the key off of one of the snakes and ran towards the throne. The only man in his way was Robbie Williams, which Fat Bastard took care of quickly when he shot him with a gun.
Oh my god.
Fat Bastard unlocked the throne and sat on it, deactivating the bomb and making himself the King of England. Everyone froze in their tracks and looked towards the Queen. He's in charge now! What is your first command? Asked both Fergie and Mr. Bean. I've got 4 words for you. Get in my belly! Everyone laughed. The end.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yay!
Oh my god, that was what a ride!
That was really upsetting.
Oh, that was deeply disturbing.
It's Halloween!
I loved it. I loved it.
Everyone's talking a big game about how they're so excited and ready for Halloween. And then they object to the idea of a dick poking through someone's belly button and fucking Tony Blair up the ass.
Oh my God. So
Did you
great.
use all of your knowledge about England?
Yeah, that's everything.
That's everything you know about England. Great.
Robbie Williams that was very England.
Thank you. I think he was a big celebrity around 1999. I think that was
1999 for sure, yeah.
his thing.
Absolutely.
Impressive.
I like you were listing all the quote-unquote best British celebrities who were at the party.
Mhm.
David Beckham, Victoria Beckham, and others.
That was me literally being like, I don't want to think or look up anyone, so I'll just say David Beckham's wife, who's already been introduced, and then David Beckham again.
Yeah. That's pretty much everybody who was famous in England in 1999.
I think
Yeah.
so. Thanks for the support and gasps, everyone.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for introducing skin balloon into my lexicon.
Oh.
That thought came into my head because I remember someone telling me about this like ultra rich, ultra old man who couldn't get erections anymore, but had this like young trophy wife, and he had a balloon inserted into his penis, and he would like manually pump it up to like engorge his penis.
Wow.
Huh.
I mean, good for him. He found a solution.
I mean, yeah, science helps us all every day.
Yeah, I mean, you're much more supportive than you should be, but that's
I know, like, that can't be good.
Just trying to live in a paradigm of positivity.
You're right.
Just trying to, as long as they're not hurting anybody.
No, well, I mean, I bet the wife isn't super pumped by this, but
I mean, not as pumped as he is. Hey,
Hey!
That was good.
Man.
That was good.
I'm so tired.
That's exactly
All right.
what you want to hear after you do comedy. Is for the audience to not laugh but kind of scream, and then for one guy to say so defeatedly, "I'm so tired."
All right, let's move on. We are going to move on to our first bonus game of the episode. This is a game that I call A Rose by Any Other Name. And how it works is I'm going to give you the title of a story that I found on fanfiction.net, and based on the title, I would like you to try and guess the fandom that it was written about.
Okay.
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 So for each title that I say, everybody feel free to, if you have any questions, if there's anything you want clarified about spelling, and then, yeah, everybody can take a crack at each title. So our first title is A Thing of Beauty.
Oh. My Little Pony.
Adam's Family.
American
It
Beauty.
is the Addams Family.
Yes.
What?
Oh.
Nailed it.
Oh, because of the
Yes.
thing.
Because there's a hand. Yes.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
You are like a nerd collective in upon yourself.
Yeah. You geek freak.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, that's one
I
point to
was
Steph.
hoping that they would be like more obvious, like Donkey Kong gives Cranky Kong a blowjob, you know?
Oh, that's Super Smash Brothers.
It sure is.
It's a little bit of a misdirect. You think it's going to be Donkey Kong Country, but
No.
larger world. Our second title is Playing It by Ear.
Horton Hears a Who.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh, that's
Vincent Van
good.
Gogh. The Academy Award winning movie The Artist.
It is none of those things.
Do we sing?
Can you give us a clue?
Yeah. If you feel like you can get closer.
Oh shoot.
I'll give a hint to everybody. Is all of the titles that I have chosen are all based on things or franchises that are themselves spooky scary to fit with the theme.
Hotel Transylvania.
Ooh.
It's not Hotel Transylvania, but not because I wasn't looking for Hotel Transylvania stories earlier.
Immortal Beloved.
A Quiet Place.
Hubie Halloween.
You know what? I think I'm going to give it to Ben. He's really getting there, and I think they did live on a farm in that movie, right?
Signs.
It's not Signs.
Oh.
It is in fact Children of the Corn.
Oh.
But
both
Playing it
ear,
by
like an ear of
ear.
corn. Got it.
I
Got it.
I get it. Wait, I get the point?
I don't feel good about giving you the point, but I mean,
okay, well,
don't do it. You're in charge.
Matt uttered Hubie Halloween with such enthusiasm, and I find that contemptible.
I watched that yesterday, and you know what? Worse than you think it would be.
I don't want the point. If you don't want me to have it, I don't want it either. My blood is boiling. I respect the game too much. And even if you gave me the point, I wouldn't accept it. So.
All right, I guess we'll just set that point down, leave it in the dirt, and head on down the road. We do have one more title in this game, and that title is It's What's Inside That Counts.
That movie, that Pixar movie where everyone's in emotion.
Up?
Inside Out?
No, Inside Out. Up is just sad.
Wait, what's the title again?
It's What's Inside That Counts.
What's inside that? Willy Wonka.
Aliens, because of the chest burster.
Oh,
it is Alien.
Whoa!
Really?
That was
it is,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Steph is so much better at this game than me and Ben.
Absolutely crushed it.
We're quite bad at this.
Is definitely the only episode so far that somebody has gotten two of them spot on.
Yes. Wow. I have too much spare time.
we find out Steph has been reading all these fanfics. You're just an
honestly
avid reader.
AO3, get on it.
I will.
All right. Well, I think clearly Steph wins that game.
Totally, and I won't share where I watch my pornography just based on your reaction to my story.
Oh my god.
Matt, are you dissatisfied with our reaction to your story?
No, I feel like it was warranted and allowed.
You did have somebody, I guess, drown in diarrhea.
Yeah, that's how it
And that was at the
started.
beginning. Yeah.
That's kind of how we open.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll
Well,
turn on somebody, someone out there.
Oh, for sure.
James Gangle, I'm looking at you.
British diarrhea is definitely someone's kink.
Yeah.
British diarrhea. It like smells like tea and like sausages.
Just meat. Just boiled meat.
Blood pudding.
Blood.
Oh,
all right. But before we drive a little too far down this off ramp, let's move on. Steph, fresh off crushing that bonus game, I would like to hear your story now.
amazing. Okay. So this one is from AO3, which is archiveofourown.org, if you don't read fanfiction. And this one is called The Talk by Hello, It's Haley. Oh, Gomez, Morticia moaned, throwing her head back against the black silk pillows. Cara mia, Gomez responded, his voice nearly a scream. Don't stop, she pleaded, her crimson nails raking down his back, leaving slim scratch marks trailing across his olive skin. Gomez, Morticia was cut off by the distinct sound of a thud on the other side of their firmly locked door. That was followed by the sound of feet scurrying off down the hall. While her husband didn't let the little intrusion ruin his good time, Morticia had completely lost her buzz, so to speak. Tish, what's wrong? Gomez grunted, knowing he wasn't going to last much longer. Your brother, Gomez, she said through gritted teeth. Why are you thinking about Fester while we're having sex? He asked, fingers fisted in the sheets beside her head. Because he was watching us through the keyhole again, Morticia exclaimed, right as Gomez let out a depraved grunt and crashed down on top of her. Morticia sighed. It was a rare occurrence when she was left dissatisfied in bed, but when it did happen, she was left in a funk. Ugh. I'm sorry, Tish, he gasped. Let me catch my breath and I'll take care of you. No, I don't think I could get back to that headspace right now, she said as she sat up. Gomez, you need to have a talk with him. He ground loudly, his face still pressed into the mattress. Oh, but that's going to be so awkward. How would I even bring that up? Say this. Hey, Fester, what could possibly possess you to watch Morticia and I have sex, and could you please stop? Morticia said simply. Gomez turned his head slightly to look up at her. That sounds horrible, but for you, I'll try my best. Thank you, darling, she sighed, reaching out to stroke his hair. That's all I ask. Gomez wasn't someone who often felt awkward. He was a rather confident man in most aspects of his life. The prospect about having a chat with his brother about his voyeuristic tendencies, however, was not sitting well. Morticia was right, of course. It had to be done. He was just dreading actually sitting down and doing it. Never mind the fact that he hated that Fester had seen Morticia naked in very compromising positions because of his little habit. If Gomez thought about that too much, he was likely to flip his lid.
Oh man, was this story written by Don Knotts?
Unfortunately, he found Fester sitting down in the sitting room by himself, presenting the perfect opportunity to get this conversation out of the way. Fester! He exclaimed, his tone sounding extremely fake. Brother, how are you? Fester looked back and forth, clearly confused by the wide smile plastered on Gomez's face. Good? Good, grand, Gomez cried as he took the seat across from him. Wonderful. Listen, we need to have a talk. Fester frowned, looking guilty. Is this about that magazine? No! My search history? No! What I buried in the backyard? No, Fester, listen! Gomez said, cutting him off before he could admit to something Gomez really didn't want to hear. It's about...
Is that just a throwaway joke about, like, Fester murdering a sex worker or something?
I mean, it's very fitting with the tone of the 90s movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
He trailed off, finding that his voice box completely betrayed him. This was much worse than he thought. Perhaps the timing was wrong. He could try again in a few hours. Yes, that was a good plan. He would try later. What would you like for dinner? Gomez asked, feeling only slightly like a failure. Oh, Fester said, looking relieved. I'm fine with whatever Mama whips up. I don't know what that accent was. Good! I'll go tell her then. Gomez said eagerly as he jumped out of his chair, all too ready to get the hell out of there. He bolted out of the sitting room in record speed as he tried in vain to think of a better plan. Though Gomez told himself he would find another time to talk to Fester that day, it just did not happen. It was far too awkward. He had to build up to it. It would happen at some point. It needed to. It just wouldn't be today. However, as night fell and he and Morticia found themselves caught in their usual sensual tango, Gomez had all but forgotten about Fester's little issue. That is, until over the sound of Morticia's screams, Gomez heard the doorknob jiggle, which was then followed by the sound of feet rushing back down the hall. Morticia froze, clearly having heard the same sound. Gomez, darling, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to answer very carefully because with one wrong move I could cause significant damage to a certain part of your body. Gomez swallowed the lump in his throat. Yes, dearest? Did you talk to your brother? Gomez frowned as he turned his attention to Morticia's leg on his shoulder. That would be a no, he mumbled as he began picking invisible lint off her leg. Gomez, she groaned, and not in the way he liked. Why not? Tish, you can't even comprehend the awkwardness. I can speak with him if you would prefer, she said casually, arching her back off the mattress. No, he half pleaded, half moaned. It should be me who does it. Morticia smirked as she reached up to pat his face. Thank you, Gomez. Because really, the fact that your brother watches us have sex, it disturbs me greatly. Can we stop talking about Fester now? Gomez asked, looking down at their complicated position, a bead of sweat rolling down his temple. I'd rather finish without thoughts of my brother in my head. Good luck, Morticia said flatly, as she let her head thump against the mattress. He's already ruined it for me. He was going to do it. Gomez was going to sit down and hash this out with Fester until the problem was solved. Not only was it in fact an actual major problem, the fact that Morticia hadn't enjoyed their last 2 romps in the sack was just as upsetting to him. What was the point of sex if only one of them was enjoying it? For his Morticia, he would speak to his brother, even if he died of embarrassment. Fester, old man, he said cheerfully as he passed him in the hall. Can we chat for a moment? Is this about that smell? Because I have an explanation. What? No smell. Fester, listen. It's about a certain hobby of yours, Gomez said slowly, placing his hand on Fester's shoulder. It's a little disruptive. But I thought you liked the explosions, Fester exclaimed, wringing his hands together. Pugsley usually starts them. It's about... Gomez began, but was cut off by Wednesday rounding the corner towards them. Father, Pugsley got a train stuck in his ear, Wednesday said with a shrug. He needs your help. Can't your mother get it? Gomez asked in desperation, fearing he would lose the nerve if he didn't talk to Fester now. She's already tried. It's really in there. Gomez nodded with a sigh. Very well, show me the way. How did your talk with Fester go? Morticia asked that night as they made their way into their room after tucking in the children. Everything seemed normal at dinner. You see, the thing is, my dearest, Gomez said as he opened the door, it's sort of never happened. Morticia's shoulders slumped. Why, Gomez? I started to, but then Wednesday came to me with Pugsley's train problem and I just never found the time to speak with him again. He walked over and put his hands on Morticia's shoulder. I'm so sorry I let you down. You didn't let me down. I understand how terribly awkward this must be for you. However... Oh, no. Morticia's face pulled into a frown as she looked up at Gomez with what could only be described as a guilty expression. I'm going to say something you're not going to want to hear. I don't think I can have sex until this problem is resolved.
Gomez. Stakes, I mean.
Gomez looked blankly at her for a moment, certain that he misheard her, but no. She was completely serious. This prospect was unheard of. It was downright blasphemous. No sex? None? What was he supposed to do? How would he live? Oh, no. Oh, no, I think I made your brain snap, Morticia said, taking his face in her hands. Gomez, darling, are you all right? No sex? He asked. What are we defining as sex here? Everything. Everything? Gomez, this is as hard for me as it is for you, I promise, Morticia said sympathetically. Not even oral? No. Hand stuff? No. Sexting! Gomez. How about I stand here and you're on the bed and we just watch each other while we... Gomez, please. When I say everything, I mean everything. Tish, not to worry, Gomez said, inadvertently shouting. He steered her back towards the bed and urged her to sit. You stay right there while I go talk to my brother, and when I come back, I'm going to more than make up for the lack of climaxing. I swear to you, you're going to walk funny for a week straight. He ran out of the bedroom before Morticia could even process what just happened. Without much preamble, Gomez ran directly to Fester's room. He kicked the door open, finding Fester pressing his ear to the floor, likely trying to eavesdrop on the bedroom below him. Hey, my brother the peeping Tom, Gomez yelled. You have got to stop watching Morticia and me having sex. I don't care why you do it in the first place. You just need to stop. Like, stop forever. Never do it again, and we will never speak of this again. However, if you are caught, I will recreate that time I tied you to a tree and pulled out 4 of your permanent teeth. Understood? Fester could only wordlessly nod, his eyes wide. Good. The internet is free, Gomez said, calming down a bit. So use it. Good night. Gomez sheepishly pulled the now broken door shut behind him as he made his way back down to his bedroom. He opened the door, finding Morticia exactly where he left her, looking at him expectantly. Prepare to have your world rocked, Caramia, he said, whipping off his tie. Our peeping problems are no more. Good, Morticia said with a grin. I want to not walk right for a month. The end.
I like how there was a lesson at the end about how direct communication helps everybody.
It really is like a relationship story more than a sex story, you know?
Yeah.
And they like grew and they changed. Like we saw people grow, and that's beautiful.
We did. We also learned that the Addams family has internet in their house, which is something I didn't expect.
You told Paul before the podcast that you thought your story was stupid, but I'd argue that it's the smartest one we've heard so far by a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're right. I agree.
I'll tell you, my favorite thing about the Addams family is all the awkwardness.
Yeah.
That's what I really love.
My favorite thing is like... Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, my favorite thing about erotica is not the act of sex itself, but rather a guy going from one place to another and then failing each time, and then eventually working up the nerve at the end.
Yeah.
And then the sex happening after the story is over.
Yeah.
Well,
beautiful.
Wednesday said Pugsley got a train stuck in his ear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been his hole.
I mean, if it was proper erotica, but I didn't want to take license with someone else's work, you know.
Yes.
No, of course not.
Of course.
I imagine it was like a toy train, maybe?
A toy train, certainly, but don't they do, like, sit each other in electric chairs and play with guillotines and things like that? Why does he have a train stuck in his ear?
She probably put it there. Let's be real.
To what end?
Does Wednesday need a reason? There's a reason she's, like, one of my, like, childhood crushes. She's just, like, is the most badass.
And also, to jump on the point earlier, if you're going to put a train in someone's body in erotica, you put the caboose in the caboose.
In the caboose, yes.
Hey.
Of course. In the hole. I feel like I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, but it needs to be heard.
So, Steph,
Yes.
Is it actually a woman's dream not to be able to walk properly for a month after sex? Because I've been told otherwise.
Honestly, I'm surprised, but the Addams family, you know, they've always been very forthcoming about their love of pain.
Oh,
so I feel like
true.
that's just open communication, you know? That's the thing I really respect about Gomez and Morticia, is that, like, growing up, there was a lot of, like, TV couples that were kind of shitty, and they're just, like, cheat on each other and they're awful. And Gomez and Morticia are actually amazing couple goals. Like, they love each other, they have a family, they care for their kids, they, you know, have sex all the time, they're very romantic and passionate with each other. I love it. I'm very proud of them.
I'm proud of them too.
I'm a little disappointed that they didn't just put electrical tape over the keyhole. That seems like a pretty solid solution.
Or like you do like Home Alone the place, like put like
Booby traps?
a little like booby traps. Like put a little heater on the doorknob so that if he goes to touch it, like he burns his hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, booby traps would be a very Addams Family thing to do.
Booby.
I think so.
Did somebody just very lowly say the word booby?
It was me. I did it. Happy Halloween! I tricked you.
It was just a little ghost. Booby.
I would love a ghost too. Is one phrase is just booby.
Let's head off to our second bonus game of the episode. This is a game that I call Fill That Gap. And how it works is I will read the beginning of a line from a story that, again, I found on fanfiction.net, and I would like you all to take a crack at completing the line.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So our first line is from a Walking Dead story, and the line begins, "His hips jerked while Glenn kept his cock inside his mouth, swallowing every drop Daryl gave. Through his post-orgasm mind, he wondered, blank." So how do we think that completes?
He wondered, where are the zombies?
I mean, that's pretty much what every fan of the show is wondering for a lot of the run. Where are the fucking zombies?
Where are they?
He wondered, is this what fucking a zombie would feel like?
Oh.
That opens up a lot of possibilities for later.
Yeah, some foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, and then finding out what fucking a zombie feels like. Matt, any thoughts? Not on what fucking a zombie would be like, but
if you have those too.
Thank you, Steph.
Feel free to share.
I feel like it would be poor. I wouldn't want to do it myself, but if anyone's into that, that's fine. He thought, I wonder what it would be like to have sex with a Babe Ruth.
Oh.
Babe Ruth?
Wait, yeah, because you know how guys sometimes think about baseball to avoid coming? So he was like doing that.
What?
It's not what I have on the card. The line actually reads in full, "His hips jerked while Glenn kept his cock inside his mouth, swallowing every drop Daryl gave. Through his post-orgasm mind, he wondered what it tasted like, but got his answer as soon as Glenn kissed him."
Oh.
Oh my god.
So we have, from your answers that I have to choose from, are, where are the zombies? What would it be like to fuck a zombie? And what would it be like to fuck Babe Ruth? What is the closest? I don't think I'm going to give anybody a point on this
I
one.
will go on record saying I do not want that point. Don't even think about giving it to me.
I haven't gotten a point yet, so I will take it gladly.
Well, that's not. You can't just. I didn't. It wasn't
Paul's
point to give away.
Thank you for the point.
Paul, you do whatever you feel is right.
This is the hardest part of this gig. All right. Well, let's try our second line.
Yeah, I don't think anyone deserves a point for that
one. This second line is from a story, a Hocus Pocus story.
Oh.
I'm in.
All right. And the line reads, "She watched Max come down from his high, his chest heaving as he gasped for breath. And as soon as his mind unclouded and he looked at her, Sarah Sanderson, blank." So what do we think Sarah Sanderson did?
Max is the boy from the Hocus Pocus, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sarah Sanderson's the girl.
Sarah Sanderson is Sarah Jessica Parker's character.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to guess that the line remained blank and that the author was arrested for writing about child pornography halfway through the sentence.
I'm gonna second Matt on that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that she fucked him from behind with her broomstick.
Oh, cool.
Okay. If Steph is the only one submitting an answer, then I guess she gets the point here. Because the full line reads, she watched Max come down from his high, his chest heaving as he gasped for breath. And as soon as his mind unclouded and he looked at her, Sarah Sanderson slammed herself down, impaling herself on his member.
Impaling herself?
I don't think literally like,
Oh.
as if being stabbed.
I truly was picturing it going like through her.
Yeah,
I mean,
you use the word impaled. You're implying more than just penetration.
Yeah, I think it like went into the middle of her thigh.
oh.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Is that better or worse?
Better.
It's better.
All right. Well, we'll give the point to Steph anyway.
Yeah, that's.
I also just want to clarify that it wouldn't have been a broom; it actually was a mop. So I just want to be clear.
Oh, okay.
Did they have vacuum cleaners in that movie, or am I imagining that?
Yeah, that was Kathy and Jimmy's character had a vacuum cleaner.
Mary Sanderson.
Mary Sanderson, yes.
Yeah. Mary, Sarah, and Winifred.
Winifred.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a really long time.
You should watch it. It's a classic.
I should watch it and then be disappointed that it's not more like the story that I pulled this from.
Yeah.
In which I do want to mention this actually, that in the course of this story, when Max realizes that he's going to get to have sex, I think for the first time, he walks his little sister Danny out into the middle of the forest and leaves her there.
That's cold as fuck, man.
And he's like, just stay here. You're going to be fine.
Why can't he just close the door?
Because he's going to get fucking Adam's family to be peeped on in the keyhole.
Exactly. Our last line is from a story about the 90s film Casper.
I love that movie.
I hope this doesn't wreck anything for you, but it might.
Oh, no.
The line begins, Stretch gulped audibly at the pornographic sight of James Harvey being so seductive. As James said, blank.
Oh.
So what do we think James said to Casper's uncle Stretch?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Please repeat that.
Stretch gulped audibly at the pornographic sight of James Harvey being so seductive. As James said.
So who's James Harvey?
Yeah.
It's the dad.
Yeah, it's Bill Pullman's character.
I got it. As he said, I love effing Casper's hole.
You think he said that to Stretch?
Yes.
To his uncle.
Okay.
I think that he said, would you like to come down and lie on my couch for a talk? Wink. Because he's a psychiatrist for ghosts.
Right, yeah.
It's a joke. Anyways. I'm removing myself from this one.
I don't think any joke could land worse than my Babe Ruth joke, so you're fine. You're fine. I don't know. He says like, yum, this toast covered in your cum is good.
Huh. You know, yeah, I might have to give that one to Matt there.
Oh!
What?
I mean, he's not eating, cum toast, but the full line reads, Stretch gulped audibly at the pornographic sight of James Harvey being so seductive. As James said, I want you to come deep inside of me, Stretch. I want to feel it in me for days.
Whoa.
Okay. Whatever. Whatever is what I have to say.
Ben doesn't even care.
I don't even care.
So if we give Matt the point there, and then we also count the point that Matt picked up off the ground that Ben put there,
Oh,
I think Matt takes the second bonus game.
Oh!
damn it.
I don't deserve it.
Whatever. Whatever.
Ben, are you sad?
I'm sad, but honestly, I would be even more sad if you gave me the point. That's how fiercely I care about your podcast.
Wow. What a loser.
Well, it kind of feels like I can't win here. Like we're going to be in a bad mood either way.
I'm just moody.
Oh.
No, I'm happy. I'm having fun, okay? If only you could see me smiling.
Okay, we've got one more story to hear today,
Woo!
and our final story is going to be brought to us by Ben Sosa Wright.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Go Ben!
Yay!
Oh my god. I feel like so I'll give you the website first. I found my story from sofurry.anthro.fr. That's what it says on my phone.
.fr.
That's what
Is
it is.
a French furry site?
I'm honestly just telling you what it says. I don't know what it means. I hope it's from France. If it was, it would explain a lot of the typos and kind of the syntax and grammatical errors. But the story is called Shaggy's Secret, a Scooby-Doo furry fanfiction.
All right.
So let us begin. It started one afternoon when Mystery Inc. was hanging out at the local Chinese restaurant. As usual, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo were stuffing their faces and occasionally eyeing each other in a strange, almost pleased kind of way.
Oh boy.
Velma was staring at the two, looking a tad suspicious. Then she lured Velma over to the corner of the restaurant and began... That says Velma twice. Truly, I'm not making that as a mistake. I think she's supposed to talk to Daphne, but it says Velma twice. And began to speak to her in a low tone. I've never noticed it before, Velma said, but I suspect something is up with Shaggy. What? Daphne asked. The fact that he eats a lot? We all know that.
Good line read.
No, not that, Velma corrected. Something else. Something he's keeping a secret from the rest of us. Oh, really? Daphne said. We know Shaggy isn't good at keeping secrets. He is the last person we could trust to keep secrets. Maybe, Velma said, still eyeing Shaggy, but I am sure Shaggy is hiding something. Something he definitely wouldn't want the rest of the gang to know. Except maybe Scooby.
What a jerk. Leave him alone.
I know. It gets worse. Velma has boundary issues in this story. She really does. Like, what are you ladies talking about? That's my Shaggy impression. Shaggy called to the table. Nothing, Velma said. Just girl stuff. Yuck! Shaggy and Scooby both made a face. What Shaggy is hiding is apparently something he's afraid to admit. Velma resumed, talking in a hushed tone to Daphne. I am going to do a little of my own detective work to find it out. Later, as the sun was starting to set, Velma hid outside Shaggy's house. Once she peeked through the window and saw Shaggy and Scooby stepping out for dinner. She opened the window and climbed into Shaggy's room. The investigation was to begin. First, Velma sniffed the air. It smelled mostly normal, except for a small hint of salted snack treats.
That's how she begins her investigations?
Yeah.
All right.
Smells mostly normal.
Yeah, mostly.
She checked under Shaggy's bed, nothing out of the ordinary but dust. She tried the closet. It was locked.
Dust is the most normal thing under a bed.
Totally.
Suspicious looking dust, I guess. When she noticed the desk with drawers, she opened the top right one and found a drawing of Shaggy in werewolf form, a la Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf.
In werewolf form.
She studied it a bit, then took a quick snapshot with her cell phone camera. All of a sudden, she heard Shaggy's voice from down the hallway. Like, that dinner was great. Thanks, Mom. Rah, great! Scooby's voice could be heard too. That was my Scooby. Velma gasped, then stuffed the artwork back in the drawer, leaped out the window, and closed the door. And just in time, wait, what? She leaped out the window and then closed the door.
And then closed the door.
And just in time, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo both entered. Did you hear something, Scoob? Shaggy asked. Ruh-roh, Shaggy replied, shaking his head. On the ground, Velma sighed a big sigh of relief. That was a close one.
That was a close.
Velma wondered why Shaggy would have drawn a picture of himself as a werewolf. She knew Shaggy feared werewolves, or maybe Shaggy was feigning fear of just the werewolves. She knew she would need to do a little more snooping. The next day,
he's just an artist. Like, he just likes to draw.
Yeah.
she also really this is an anti-queer story, and we'll touch on it later, but you'll see why.
Oh, God.
Velma began going through the other drawers on Shaggy's desk, hoping to find anything else suspicious. Nothing else in the same drawer. Nothing in the second. She got in the third drawer and noticed a suspicious-looking bag. She pulled it out and found that it contained ... paragraph break, Scooby snacks. Velma slapped her forehead. She should have known Shaggy would be keeping Scooby snacks in his room, but it wasn't what she was looking for. She needed more clues.
What a boring last paragraph. So unnecessary.
Listen, the author is building suspense wherever they can.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And you did offend me, Matt. Anyway, as I was saying, she needed more clues. She continued to look, and then eventually found a drawing of Scooby fondling Skippy Snackerdoodle, the wolf-esque mascot turned bad that recently haunted the Scooby Snacks factory. Velma still wondered why Shaggy would draw such a thing.
Uh-oh.
She recalled Shaggy and Scooby being frightened by the monster on that case, and then also found something else. A diagram for a fursuit of a cartoonish-looking wolf with a winter cap, scarf, and bushy tail. Underneath it said, Loopy-de-loop fursuit concept. Now Velma was more suspicious. Shaggy must have had an affinity of some sort. She decided to check Shaggy's closet. Luckily, the door was open a crack, so she could peek in. But when she looked inside, she was stunned to see, hanging up on display, was the Skippy Snackerdoodle costume. The handsome, muscular, grayish it says wife, wolfish creature suit, hanging while looking lifeless and empty, surprised Velma. Normally, she wouldn't imagine Shaggy keeping one of the costumes of a villain he was scared of. Velma then noticed a box with a tail sticking out. She peeked in to find some more furry costumes of some of their past villains, like Scooby's phony monster uncle Nasty Doo and a mask of the Ape Man, as well as the Hound of Barkersville costume and a few more. Velma grinned. As the pieces had now come together, she quickly put everything back in the box, left the closet door the way it was before she entered, and left the house in plenty of time before Shaggy and his family returned. That evening, Velma decided it was time to confront Shaggy and reveal the truth. She stopped by his house again, but this time went through the front door. Hello, Mrs. Rogers, Velma said. Is Shaggy in? I need to talk to him about something. Like, sure, Shaggy's mother said. He's in the room. Need to walk you there? No thanks, Mr. Rogers. No thanks.
Polite of her, I suppose.
I know. No thanks, Miss Rogers, Velma said, heading down the hall. She then peeked through the lock on the door and was shocked by what she saw. Velma saw Scooby-Doo lying on Shaggy's bed with his hard pink cock out, rubbing it softly. "Row, yeah," Scooby said softly. Velma couldn't believe it. Surely she did not expect to see Scooby doing something like this. But she had no choice. She barged right into the room.
No choice.
No choice. She had to.
"Gotcha, Scooby," she called out. "Ruh-roh." Scooby covered his cock with his large paws. "I can't believe you, Scooby," Velma said, obviously sounding annoyed. "Why are you doing such a thing?" "I don't know," Scooby said. "It was fun, I guess." His voice sounded a bit strangely off. "A likely story," Velma said, before noticing something out the window. She could see what appeared to be another Scooby-Doo digging a hole in the yard, apparently to bury or dig up a bone or something. This made Velma realize something. "All right, Scooby-Doo," she said to the Scooby-Doo in the bed. "If you're here, then who's that out in the front yard burying something?" I don't know," Scooby said, giving one of his usual perplexed expressions. "Aha!" Velma shouted as she leaned over and grabbed the top of Scooby's head, stretching it upward. After a bit of tugging, the rubber Scooby-Doo mask came off with a wet snap, revealing Shaggy underneath.
What?
Oh my god, what?
"Hee, surprise!" Shaggy said sheepishly.
Surprise!
"Now there's real talent," Velma sardonically told him, tossing the latex,
What does that mean?
tossing the latex mask back to him. "I know your secret." Shaggy gasped. "You do? I never would have suspected you being a furry." "All right," Shaggy cried out. "Like, I admit it, I'm a furry, but I'm not really gay. Satisfied?" "I figured you were hiding something," Velma explained, "but I never thought it would be this. I thought maybe you were secretly on some kind of drug."
This story's homophobic.
It really is.
Yeah.
"Like, I don't do drugs," Shaggy admitted, "but I do love being in the furry fandom. Call it a secret shame." "And does the real Scooby-Doo know?" Velma asked. "Yes, Scoob knows," Shaggy said, "but I've never actually wanted to have sex with him. Like, that'd be too much." Velma laughed. "It feels so good hearing you admit something like this. By the way, where'd you get that Scooby suit?" "Don't you remember?" Shaggy held up the empty Scooby mask. "Ah, from the hen, the ape man tried tricking Scooby-Doo with that phony mirror." "Oh yeah," Velma said. "Well, now that you mention it..."
Well, thank God they've tied up that loose, because I was asking myself that question.
I know. I would have been up all night had they left that one open-ended. "Well, now that you mention it, it makes me a little more attracted to you." There was a hint of arousal in her voice when she said that. "Oh, really?" Shaggy said. He figures this discovery may not be such a bad thing after all. Velma began to pull off her orange turtleneck sweater, followed by her bra, revealing her rounded, rather shapely breasts. Shaggy
Rounded, rather shapely, like round.
You know, like a circle. Shaggy gasped in awe. He had masturbated in costume before, like he just was before Velma opened the door on him, but he had been lusting for having actual sex this way. He coolly reached under his bed and pulled out a box of condoms. Well, thank God. Velma continued to strip. She removed her footwear and then her skirt and panties, so she was completely naked, except for her glasses, of course. Shaggy chuckled.
Of course.
But then he said, "Of course. She can't see without them."
You have to fuck with glasses on.
I sometimes put glasses over my contact lensed eyes, just so I can have sex properly.
Then he slipped his Scooby-Doo mask back on over his head, stuffed the neck under the suit collar, and imitated Scooby laughing. "Ree!"
Please do that again.
Not Ree! I can't. That is psychotic. Okay. I've never fucked a handsome, muscular dog before, Velma said teasingly, as she began to climb onto the bed the imposter Scooby-Doo was on. Scooby slipped a condom onto his dick and slid it into Velma's ass, snickering again. The next period was one of the most pleasurable for Velma and Shaggy. Fully costumed as Scooby-Doo, he fucked Velma a couple of times, first anal and then in her vagina. Velma didn't apparently seem to mind. They both nuzzled each other, and Velma patted...
Good!
And Velma patted Scooby's head. Good boy, she said, aggressively as if he were a real dog. The door opened again, but this time the real Scooby-Doo entered. "Ro?" he said, looking rather perplexed.
Oh no.
"Ro?" his imitator Shaggy repeated back. "It's all right," Velma said. Shaggy already knows. "Okay," Scooby said, and then closed the door. Velma giggled again as she and the cloned Scooby-Doo hugged each other. "We need to do this again real soon," she grinned. "Maybe hopefully get a Scooby-D costume made for myself." D.
Aww. Wow.
Bravo.
A perfect story.
Really good, huh?
She didn't seem to mind.
I like how the author was like, I better list what order it went. And I think I'm going to go with ass and then vagina.
I love that this author typed that, like, exclamation, but then also use the word sardonic.
Yeah. I mean...
That's just not necessary for this story, but great.
Velma is also just like, she's the villain of the story. Like, Shaggy wasn't hurting anybody.
No.
He just has a furry fetish, and Velma just had to pry it out of him.
Well, I guess if you're trying to find some sort of semblance of this story making sense from a character motivation standpoint, it could just be that Velma suspected this the whole time and was so turned on by the idea, but so repressed about it, that she didn't reveal to herself that she was so into being a furry until she was actually confronted by it.
Well, Matt, she's not gay.
The worst possible thing in the story.
According to this author, the worst thing you could be.
Like, thank God Shaggy's not gay, and thank God Shaggy doesn't do drugs.
Ugh.
There's a lot of parallels between my story and Ben's in terms of people dressing up as other things.
And also 2 liters of diarrhea.
Oh.
That was a subtext, yeah.
Oh, man alive. Okay. All right. The last thing that we have left to do today is to go around the circle and decide who we all think is today's champion. So, Ben, who do you think deserves to be named the champion of this week's episode?
I think it's clear to you, me, the listeners, that the champion today is myself, Ben Sosa Wright. I won 0 points in the, I'll call them mini challenges between stories, but I think that allowed me to really shine during the story, and I won.
Okay. Matt, who do you think is the champion of this week's episode?
I was leaning towards Ben Sosa Wright, but I will now vote instead for Steph Malek, due in part to her superior internet connection.
Finally being recognized for the thing I do the best.
Wow.
Yeah, we have experienced some technical difficulties during the recording today.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Sure, yeah.
I'll say this. I think Matt, for that comment, should actually be disqualified. And I'll tell you why. Because up until Matt...
Sorry, Ben, I can't hear you. I think your internet went out for the 4th time.
Oh, my God. Here's the thing. The listeners had no idea. And now Matt has shattered that 4th wall. And for doing that, for putting you and your podcast in danger, I call for an immediate disqualification.
Well, wait, why is my podcast in danger?
Matt is putting it in active danger.
And sounding like a real Velma over there, you know?
Oh, Oh, please.
Oh.
Whatever.
Guys, don't fight.
I'm over it.
Well, Steph, who do you think is the champion this week?
Well, it's tough. It was a real nail biter here, but in terms of like which story disturbed me the most, that's a tie for sure between Matt and Ben. But I have to say, in the end, yeah, I have to go with Ben. Ben's story was amazing.
My God! Really?
I counter argue that for sure my story was more disturbing than Ben's.
Yo, yours was more disturbing. Yes, absolutely. They're pretty close, though.
Matt, I think yours was more violent, but did feature less homophobia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
Steph, thank you so much.
I think you did wonderfully.
Oh my God, Steph. Oh my God. I'm actually blushing, truly.
Yay! Even though we can't touch, we can still be touched.
I can feel you touching me.
Oh, I am. I'm touching you right now.
Oh my God, your hands are so soft.
Thank you. I've been moisturizing.
I'm changing my vote to Paul.
Yay! It's the first vote I've ever gotten on the show.
Whoa.
Sometimes you feel underappreciated, but it's moments like this that make it all worth it.
So, Paul, we just have to wait for your vote, which I think you forgot to mention at the beginning of the podcast is worth 5 points.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? Now that it's a possibility, I kind of want to win.
Oh my God. I'm curious.
I could vote for myself and blow this whole thing wide open.
You'd be putting your podcast in danger.
It'll never get on the Sonar Network if you do this.
Listen, Paul, listen
Yes.
to me. I'm with the Sonar Network. You have an in with me already. You give me these 5 points, and who knows? Maybe you can get a
Put in a good word.
Put in a good word.
Paul, I am good friends with Sonar founder Michael Mongiardi, and I asked him about Ben Sosa Wright, and he said, "Who?"
Oh.
Okay, Paul. Very important though. I have no clout whatsoever with the Sonar Network. I just believe in you very hard. So.
Paul, remember, your vote is worth 10 points. You have to pick truly who you think wrote themselves the best story.
Whoa. That wasn't part of this.
That's true. Oh, no.
I mean, all I'm saying, like, I don't want to say if I don't win, every bridge, physical, metaphysical, that you have with Sonar will be burnt to the ground. I don't want to have to say that to you, Paul, but if it gets the message across, I'll say it. I'm threatening
You're
My story was fun for the whole family.
That's
what
true.
family?
British family.
The Manson family.
All right.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Matt, your story was excellent, really, really well done, but I can't give it to you because it was maybe a little too disturbing.
Oh, I'm sorry that my story was too disturbing for Halloween.
Fat bastard's diarrhea killed a person, and that doesn't say Halloween to me.
Well, I grew up in the hard streets of Whitby, Ontario, where the second biggest cause of mortality is drowning in your own shit. So this is just normal for me.
And I would give it to Ben, but that was maybe the worst Scooby-Doo impression I've ever heard.
Gee, Shaggy, can't you do a Scooby-Doo impression?
I am humiliated.
Give it one more go.
Absolutely not. After you've humiliated me like this, you told me that I could have taken the competition had it not been for my terrible impression. I'm close to tears.
I agree that Ben deserves to win outside of his bad impressionist skills.
Listen, I can do an impression of all of you right now.
Oh,
Was
I
that all of us
mean,
or was that us as a chorus, or
That was
was
all-
that someone specific?
all of you flirting because you're all stinky.
Hey,
Steph, I take that back. You've been on my side, so I actually take
thank you.
that
I love you.
back. I love
my
you.
strategy is to just have this vote go on for so long that no one will realize I
Yeah.
lose because everyone will tune out by the end.
This is really going on forever.
No one cares who wins at this point. I will say.
It doesn't come with anything. You
I'm
don't get
gonna
like a
say
prize.
this. I will say this, Paul.
Okay.
I no longer wish to be a part of this competition.
Oh.
I no longer wish to be a part of it. I feel like my talents have gone unappreciated. I feel like I've only been given this platform to be slandered, to be shit on, and I'm leaving. So
Wow.
I withdraw my place in the competition.
Paul, if it makes you feel better, Ben had the same reaction when he lost in the first round of the improv tournament this year.
Oh my god. Well,
I think Matt wins for that.
Matt wins for that. I think
All
Matt,
right.
we'll give it to
Matt
Matt.
McCready is this week's champion. He has won the Halloween episode of The Pen is Mightier. This whole discussion about who is the winner went on like 3 or 4 times as long as it usually does. Everybody just wanting to interject, get one last little thing in. Before we go, I wanted to say thank you all for bringing such wonderful stories. We had a really genuinely good mix, I thought, of tones, of subject matter. Does anybody have any ongoing projects, shows, things they're working on that they'd like to mention?
Catch me next year competing in the world's biggest improv tournament.
I have been doing shows on Bad Dog TV on the internet, so check that out. They have a lot of really good shows. I'm in some of them sometimes, like The Oval, Puppet Chats, High Tea, which I know Ben was on earlier today.
Love High Tea.
Yeah, so please check out that stuff. And sometimes I'll be there, but even if I'm not, lots of other great people are there.
Yeah.
And I believe Bad Dog TV has got a tangential partnership with the Sonar Network.
Oh, yes, you could catch live eps of Nostalgique. I believe the first Monday of every month we do them on Bad Dog TV. You will never see anyone here on that except Steph. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's it.
Well, you already did a Carly Rae Jepsen episode, which is the only one I would be good for. So,
oh my god, part 2s are allowed.
Ooh, well,
and I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were a Carly fan. I'm intrigued.
I think everybody is really.
Yeah, if anyone is subscribed to FX, I'll be starring alongside Chris Rock in season 4 of Fargo. I play a weird Irish guy that no one trusts, but in the end has a heart of gold.
Well, spoilers, but...
Oh yeah. And the season finale, I kill Chris Rock. And how do I do it? Spoiler alert, diarrhea!
All right. Well, thanks again. Thanks again to all of our competitors, Steph Malek, Ben Sosa Wright, and our champion, Matt McCready. And I will catch you all next time on another episode of The Pen is Mightier. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.